Battle of the Brains, presented by Invest 529, Central Virginia's high school academic quiz show. Today's match features Spotsylvania High School versus Monacan High School. Let's play.
Hello and welcome to Battle of the Brains, our long-running high school academic quiz show. I'm Cheryl Miller. Our competition welcomes teams from schools all across the Commonwealth of Virginia to vie for a share of $20,000 in scholarship money, courtesy of Invest 529 and the E.W. Scripps Foundation. The academic athletes joining us today are the Knights of Spotsylvania High School, coached by Jeff Black and Teresa Leibelsberger. Spotsylvania High School serves the southern half of Spotsylvania County. The school offers various academic, career, and technical courses and specialized programs to meet students' needs. Also with us today, the Chiefs of Monacan High School, coached by Cameron Fisk and Sean Hollingshead. Monacan High School is a public school in Chesterfield County, just south of the city of Richmond. It houses the Center for the Humanities, which includes a rigorous curriculum, and students involved earn an advanced studies diploma. It's great to have all of these students here with us today. Our match will consist of 3 toss-up rounds and a category round. Players will buzz in and wait for me to call on them before answering. Any interruption of questions with an incorrect answer will result in a point deduction. There's no deduction for an incorrect answer to a completed question. Welcome, students. Let's start with the first toss-up round. It's becoming appallingly clear that our technology has surpassed our humanity. This is a quote from what scientist who was instrumental in describing the theories of light relativity and molecular motion? Divine Grace.
Bohr?
That is incorrect. Monacan? Grace.
Newton.
That would actually be Albert Einstein. Whose likeness is depicted on the U.S. $100 bill? Divine Grace.
Benjamin Franklin?
Correct. They often contain a kigo, a word that describes the seasonal setting. Name this type of 3-line 17... Hazel.
Haiku.
That is correct. 17-syllable Japanese poem. Name the U.S. city that has these 5 professional sports teams: the Lynx, the Wild, Timberwolves, Twins. Nolan.
Minnesota. Minneapolis.
That is incorrect. The judges are saying no. And the Vikings. Monacan. Grace.
Minneapolis.
That is correct. We were looking for the U.S. city. 6 molecules of water plus 6 molecules of carbon dioxide produce 1 molecule of sugar plus 6 molecules of oxygen. What is this reaction better known as? Jackson.
Photosynthesis.
Correct. What 5-letter word describes molecules like ethanol and ammonia that have different centers of positive and negative charge? Bryce.
Ionic.
That is incorrect. Monacan. Hazel.
Covalent.
They're called polar. You might want to write these down. The winning number in a contest was less than 50. It was a multiple of 3, 5, and 6. What was the number? Kitty.
15.
That is incorrect. Pennsylvania. Bryce?
30.
30 is correct. What is the 4th conic section after parabola, circle, and ellipse? Nolan.
Hyperbola.
That is correct. Of the nearly 800 lighthouses in the United States, which one enjoys the honor of being the tallest? That would be the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. It stands 210 feet from base to tip in the Outer Banks. What NFL team's home city is named after an animal? That would be the Buffalo Bills. Evangelista Torricelli placed a glass tube vertically in a basin of mercury to invent what instrument that measures atmospheric or air pressure? Bryce.
Thermometer.
That is incorrect. Grace.
Barometer.
That is correct. All right, teams, turn your attention to the monitor and listen carefully for a video question from a member of the Battle of the Brains Brainy Bunch. And you must wait until the question is completed before buzzing in. Early buzzes will not be honored.
Named the French aristocrat who struck up a lifelong friendship with George Washington and was promoted to Major General in the Continental Army.
Divine Grace.
Lafayette.
That is correct, Marquise de Lafayette. During the Constitutional Convention of 1787, debate arose over differences on how to count slaves when determining legislative representation and taxation. What specific fraction is associated? Jackson.
3/5.
That is correct, with the resulting compromise. It's a word associated with what it sounds like. Spell onomatopoeia. Grace.
O-N-O-M-A-T-O-P-E-I-A.
That is incorrect. Spotsylvania. Jackson.
O-N-O-M-A-E-T-O-P-I-A.
That is also incorrect. It's O-N-O-M-A-P-O-T-O-E-I-A. Onomatopoeia. You may need your pencil and paper for this one. There are currently 6 snakes living in a water hazard at Hook and Slice Country Club. Given that the population of snakes doubles every year, in how many years will there be 96 snakes? Bryce.
16.
That is incorrect.
Huh?
Monacan? Isla.
12.
It's actually 4. It starts at 6, goes to 12, 24, 48, and then 96. It doubles every year. Which musical icon whose songs include Crazy Train and Mama, I'm Coming Home? Jackson.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Correct. Passed away July 22nd, 2025. And that buzzer is the end of our first toss-up round. A good job by our teams. We've got a lot more questions to come. Up next, we'll meet today's players, and then they'll take on the category round here on Battle of the Brains.
Miss a week of Battle of the Brains? Want to catch up on the full season of play? Find full episodes on our YouTube channel. Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
Here are the scores following the first toss-up round here on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Spotsylvania High School with 60 points and our team from Monacan High School with 30 points. And we'll get back to our match just ahead, but first we want to introduce you to today's players. Let's start with our team from Spotsylvania High School. They are the Knights. First up is Nolan Donahoe, who is a wrestler who enjoys his English class, he says, working to organize a community pickleball tournament as well with his peers. Our next player is Divine Grace Newbit, who is a senior, is in the orchestra and JROTC programs and plans to study aerospace engineering. Our captain for Spotsylvania High School is Bryce Whitehead, who is a junior. He enjoys music and history and leads a section of the school's literary magazine, which is called Periphery. And wrapping up our team from Spotsylvania High School, senior Jackson Velasco. He's an Eagle Scout and world traveler and plans to study biomedical engineering. That's our team from Spotsylvania High School. Good to have them here with us. Now let's meet our team from Monacan High School. They are the Chiefs. First up is Kitty Vong, who is a member of the theater program at school, enjoys making tea and coffee drinks, and is interested in the study of cognitive psychology. Our team captain is Hazel Boone. Hazel's a senior who enjoys painting and listening to music, plans to major in cell biology and pre-med. Next up is senior Isla Marr, who enjoys art and learning about medieval history and is a fan of unicorns. And wrapping up our team is Grace Moore, who is a senior, enjoys reading and photography, is a member of the debate and speech team, and plans to major in social work. That is our team from Monacan High School, and great to have all of you here with us today as well, playing Battle of the Brains. And now our teams are going to take on the category round, where each team will select one 10-question category from today's choices. If a team gets all of its questions correct in the allotted time, they'll receive a 20-point bonus. All right, teams, here are today's categories from which you may choose. They are Name the Color, Literary Potpourri, and Official Languages. And we do note that in this round, only the captains can officially answer for the team, though they may confer with their teammates to try to come up with the correct answer. By the rules, the high score team gets first choice of category. That is Spotsylvania. Bryce, talk it over with your teammates. Let me know what category you would like to play.
We would like official languages, please.
All right. What is the only official language of each of the following countries? The first is Brazil.
Portuguese.
Correct. Algeria.
Arabic.
Correct. Andorra.
Yeah, sure. French.
We would expect French, Spanish, or Catalan. Austria.
German.
Correct. Bangladesh.
Bengali.
Correct. Bermuda.
English.
Correct. Dominican Republic.
Spanish.
Correct. Iran.
Persian.
Or Farsi. Correct. Liberia.
English.
Correct. And finally, Myanmar.
Burmese.
And that is correct. And a sweep of the category and a 20-point bonus for our team from Spotsylvania High School. Good job on the category. All right, Monacan, name the color or literary potpourri. Hazel, talk it over with your teammates.
Name the color.
All right. Give the answer to these clues related to a person, place, or thing, each one containing a specific color. The first is supporters of Giuseppe Garibaldi.
Pass.
That would be red shirts. Pale shade of color worn by UNC Tar Heels.
Blue.
Be Carolina blue.
Oh.
Moscow Square adjoining the Kremlin.
Red.
We need red square.
Red square. Okay.
Left field wall at Fenway Park.
Yellow wall.
That would be the Green Monster. Sea between China and the Korean Peninsula.
Yellow sea.
Correct. Alabama football team name.
Red tide.
Crimson Tide. Jacket worn at the Masters Golf Tournament.
Green coat.
Green is correct. Jersey worn by the leader of the Tour de France.
Blue jersey.
Be yellow. NFL team in Cleveland. That would be the Browns, and we won't get to our last question. All right, good job by our teams with the category round. Up next, we'll have another toss-up round when Battle of the Brains continues.
Battle of the Brains is always available. Find full episodes on YouTube and follow Battle of the Brains on social media. Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
And here are the scores following the category round here on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Spotsylvania High School with 130 points. Our team from Monacan High School with 40 points. And now it's back to Battle of the Brains and another toss-up round. First, a reminder, though, for our teams, you do lose points if you interrupt a question with an incorrect answer. The other team then has the chance to answer. And, of course, there's no conferring in the toss-up rounds. Here we go. Considering members of the lower class, some Europeans contracted to work without wages for a certain number of years to pay for their passage to the New World. Grace.
Indentured servants.
That is correct. Scarface was the nickname of which infamous Chicago mobster? Kitty.
Al Capone.
Correct. Both Aaron Burr and George Clinton served as vice presidents under which president of the United States? Bryce.
Thomas Jefferson.
Correct. What is the pH of a solution that is basically 1,000 times more acidic than pure water? Nolan.
4.
4 is correct. Mary Lennox goes to live with her British uncle in which 2020 film based on Francis Burnett's children's book that was first published in 1911? Kitty.
Secret Garden.
Correct. It first met on July 30th, 1619 at Jamestown, Virginia. Bryce.
House of Delegates.
That is incorrect. What is the name of this legislative body? Isla.
House of Representatives?
It's the House of Burgesses.
Sorry.
It actually consisted of 2 routes skirting to the north and south of the Taklamakan Desert. What trade route linking the Levant and China carried a variety of goods? Bryce.
Silk Road.
Correct. Admiral Horatio Nelson kept his British fleet here in the 18th century. Named by Christopher Columbus, what is this largest of the British Leeward Islands whose capital is St. John's? Jackson.
The Indies?
That is incorrect. Monica? Hazel?
Antigua and Barbuda.
Antigua is correct, yes. The Mayan city of Tikal, with pyramids and temples reaching over 200 feet tall, flourished in what modern-day country? Bryce.
Mexico.
That is incorrect. Monacan? Grace?
Brazil.
It's actually Guatemala. What rowdy country singer's nickname is Bocephus? Grace?
Ariba McIntyre.
That is incorrect. Spotsylvania? Bryce?
Keith Urban.
That would be Hank Williams Jr. How many strings are there on a standard acoustic guitar? Jackson?
6.
Correct. From which company does the animated Wile E. Coyote buy most of his supplies? Hazel?
Acme.
Correct. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was the eminently successful children's book written by what English-born author of the James Bond spy thrillers? And that would be Ian Fleming. Who holds the record for the most men's Grand Slam tennis titles with 24? Jackson.
Federer.
That is incorrect. Monacan? Grace.
Arthur Ashe.
It would be Novak Djokovic. The medieval Frankish ruler Clovis managed in his lifetime to conquer virtually all of what former Roman Western European province? Divine Grace.
Holy Roman Empire?
That is incorrect. Monacan? Isla?
Great Britain.
It was actually Gaul, or ancient France. You may need your pencil and paper. The sizes of the angles of a quadrilateral are x, x plus 10, x plus 20, and x plus 30 degrees. What is the degree of the largest angle? And the answer we were looking for, 105 degrees. The judgment that fruits of the earth were inferior to his brother's firstlings of his flock impelled what biblical character to commit the first murder? Isla.
Cain.
Correct. In which American war did the following battles take place? The Somme, Verdun, and Gallipoli. Divine Grace.
World War I?
Correct. And that buzzer means one more toss-up round just ahead, and we'll double the point value. Stay tuned to see which team is today's winner here on Battle of the Brains, and we'll go on to round 2 of this season's competition. We'll be right back.
Love Battle of the Brains? Ready for your high school team to play next season? Go to battleofthebrains.net to learn more. Welcome back to Battle of the Brains.
Here are the scores as we head now into the final round here on Battle of the Brains. Our team from Spotsylvania High School with 170 points. Our team from Monacan High School with 100 points. Now for this final toss-up round, the point score for a correct answer is doubled. So is the penalty for an incorrect answer given before I finish the question. There is no deduction for an incorrect answer to a completed question. All right, good luck teams. This is our final toss-up round. Name the following physics law. The size of a relatively small deformation of an object is directly proportional to the deforming force, and all things remaining equal, the object will return to its original shape upon removal of the deforming force. Grace.
Newton's third law.
That is incorrect. Spotsylvania? That is Hooke's law. All right, players, watch the monitor. Listen for a video question from a member of the Battle of the Brains Brainy Bunch.
Which musical instrument was the most popular in colonial America?
Grace.
The fiddle.
That is correct. Which one of New York City's 5 boroughs is the most populous? Bryce.
Manhattan.
That is incorrect. Monacan? Grace?
Queens.
It's actually Brooklyn with 2.6 million people. In 2005, residents of which Middle Eastern state staged anti-Syrian demonstrations that became known as the Cedar Revolution? Bryce?
Lebanon.
Correct. The mining of what modern currency can consume significant amounts of electricity, particularly with Hazel?
Bitcoin.
That is incorrect, particularly with proof of work systems.
We'll accept that.
Okay, judges are saying we will accept that. We were looking for crypto. Crypto is Bitcoin. All right, you may need your paper and pencil for this one. What is the sum of the following? 5u squared v plus 6u squared v. Nolan.
11u squared v.
That is correct. What is the name of the primary chemical in peppers that makes them spicy? Jackson.
Capsaicin.
We will accept that. Capsaicin, yes. All right, spell capsaicin. Jackson.
Capsaicin.
That is correct. You may need your pencil and paper. A bus driver notes that his bus currently has twice as many boys as girls. Before the last 15 students, all boys got on. The bus had twice as many girls as boys. Assuming nobody got off, how many students must now be on the bus? Grace.
30.
That is correct, 20 boys and 10 girls. President George W. Bush nominated 2 men who were chosen to become members of the U.S. Supreme Court. One was Chief Justice John Roberts. Who was the other? Grace.
Thomas.
That is incorrect. Spotsylvania? Bryce?
Alito.
That is correct, Samuel Alito in 2006. One of its precursors was a July 1823 letter from John Quincy Adams warning Russia not to extend its Alaskan colonies. It balanced its warning with a promise of American neutrality in European wars. Name this foreign policy position of the U.S. 5th president. Bryce.
Monroe Doctrine.
Correct. Pencil and paper may be needed. What is the value of the cube root of x to the 6th power if x equals 2? Nolan.
4.
Correct. What term refers to the amount of information or data that can be transmitted or processed either wirelessly or across a hardwired connection? Nolan.
Bandwidth.
Correct. Who was the first U.S. president to not own slaves?
John Adams.
That is correct. Second president, his son John Quincy Adams, the 6th president, were the first 2 presidents who never owned slaves. To best catch these freshwater fish, you'll need a large-size egg sinker, 20 to 30-pound test line, a treble hook, and chicken livers. Fish early in the morning or a hot summer night, and you'll have a good chance to catch which fish with whiskers. Jackson.
Catfish.
Correct. And that buzzer means the end of our round. While our judges double-check the final score, here's a reminder of how to stay connected with us here at Battle of the Brains.
Stay up to date on Battle of the Brains. Follow along as your favorite teams advance this season. Visit battleofthebrains.net to learn more and follow along at Battle of the Brains on social media. Join us next week on Battle of the Brains as we welcome students from Clover Hill High School playing against students from Nansemond Suffolk Academy. Don't miss the action.
And here's the final score for today's match, determining which team will continue on in this season's competition. Ending the match with a final score of 180 points, our team from Monacan High School. Great job today by Kitty, Hazel, Isla, and Grace. Great to have you here playing Battle of the Brains. Our winners today with a final score of 350 points, our team from Spotsylvania High School. Great job today by Nolan, Divine, Grace, Bryce, and Jackson, and we will see you in the next round. I'm Cheryl Miller. Thank you so much for watching and playing along here on Battle of the Brains. We'll see you back here next week. Great match, teams.
Game over. Thank you for watching Battle of the Brains, presented by Invest 529. Goodbye.